What up everyone, it's your man XMan87 here, bringing you another unboxing video, and what I have for you today is not another review, but an unboxing of my 2024 San Diego Comic-Con haul that I got here. Gonna give you my thoughts through my first-hand impressions, so we'll react together along the way. I got both Jada Toys exclusives of Violent Ken and P2 Chun-Li, the G.I. Joe Classified Series Once a Man Cobra Commander, and the Marvel Legends Death's Head. Gotta give a big thanks to the homie Doug who scored these for me over at the con. Go follow him on Instagram if you haven't already. IG username is @thatbatmetal. He also puts up figures for sale, so hit him up if there's anything you are interested in purchasing. And as always, before we get into everything, if you could please leave a thumbs up, like rating on the video. It'll help show your support for my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Now with that said, let's go! Alright, let's start with the Marvel Legends Death's Head here, and I just absolutely love the packaging. It's a nice callback to the 91 Impel trading card. You can see the same border setup, and it's just pure nostalgia. I love it. Not the first time Marvel Legends tried to implicate some of the trading card aspects into their packaging. If you recall the Polaris and Havoc 2-pack and the Love Triangle 3-pack between Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean, they had one of those 90s background images into their packaging, but nothing like this where it's a nice border setup. It's almost like the shape of the trading card. And you got the layout of the trading card, you got the power grid, you got his bio, even the fun fact of the did you know, Death's Head actually owns a pet, Vulture. Yes, I did know that, and I know everything Marvel, almost everything. His first appearance is actually Transformers, issue number 113, not Dragon Claws, but, you know, yeah, that's another fun fact for you. He did first appear in Transformers when Marvel was publishing their comics. He looks so good in packaging, but it's time to open him up, so that's what we're gonna do. That's the reason of this video. Lift the tab and pull it out. Oh, the nice feeling of that plastic tray. We got the weapon layout right here. Good old thumb push action. Let's get this guy out. Oh, he is lovely. He's got some nice coloring right here. So this is not a review. I'm not gonna go and dive in deeply into this figure. Just first-hand impression, and it's a really good looking figure. Damn. I even like all that wear and tear on his armor. So the cape came out really nice. So gotta break him in a little bit, That's the fun part. That is always the fun part for me. And you know what's funny? Is that when he was first revealed, I thought he was an all-new sculpt except for the arms. But then some people were pointing out that he's actually the 80 years Colossus reuse, and I was just like, wait, what? And then I take a look closely, and I'm like, oh yeah, the same torso, the legs, and all that. I was just like, oh, I see it now. I didn't realize it. I totally forgot about that sculpt, man. Yeah, and I can see it right here. The same setup for the torso, the legs. And I was wondering why these legs look familiar too, because he's got the trunk sculpted right there, just like Colossus. I don't know why I didn't pick that up, man. And, I like this Colossus figure. I felt like, they could have done a better job with the legs. But, yeah, it's a really clever reuse, especially if they were just going off the box art. I'm really digging this. This head sculpt came out stellar. Look at the teeth. That big, whatever, a tusk, I guess you want to call it. His jaw. It's a pretty hardcore head sculpt. Like, they just nailed it. And you can even see, like, a slight dent on the head. So he's got some battle damage markings right there, even underneath the horn. I like it. And the paint job on the bullet holes right there, great job. I think my only gripe here, my biggest gripe, is that they kept them with this dull-looking gray plastic, and it's just like, what? Come on, for $40 they should have painted him in a metallic silver painting. Like, how much better he would have looked if he had the metallic paint of Colossus. Oh, it would have made the blues and yellows and reds just pop even more, man. I'm just a visualist like that, man. If you get the nice paint, forget it. I won't stop looking at this figure if it was painted just like this. Again, man, $40. Paint it, Hasbro. I want to get the most out of my buck. Give me and give us more bang for our buck. That aside, absolutely love it. The blues, the yellows, and the reds, they all blend in so nicely. It's just very vibrant. You know, colors don't clash. It's just so nice, man. Man, he's still a good looking figure. I really like this a lot. I think these are new boots sculpted too. Oh yeah, these are definitely new boots sculpted. A really nice tattered cape here that's fully texturized. And there's a look at his back. There's the Death's headbutt. Articulation, you could expect the same as Colossus pretty much. Single jointed elbows, you know. You got the arms that move up that far. The bicep swivel, wrist swivel, all that. You know, he's got a really good ab crunch. Like, he bends in. Ooh, crunchy. Head looks up really far. I do like that. Down, you know, left, right. So he's got some really good movement to him. He's got that hardline waist swivel. You know, legs can spread out. Pretty much just like Colossus. He probably gets better bend at the knees than Colossus, right? Yeah, actually, I would say about the same. Never mind. And then, you know, you got the boot swivel. He's just set up so nicely. 6 accessories, man. I like that they gave him plenty of accessories here. He's got this mini battle shield with these battle marks, and that looks pretty neat. And on the back of the shield, he has these clips to hold all his weapons, which is great for storage, and you can plug that onto his back, and that just looks so freaking cool. And he just looks so freaking badass. And also his shield, if you want him to hold it, it doesn't just plug in to his wrist peg right here. So if you want to do that, you're gonna have to take that open hand, that gripping hand, insert it through the hand, and then, you know, you just plug it in like so. So it just looks so cheesy because it's a small shield and he's a really big dude. Yeah, a bigger shield would look better, but I mean, he's so big, he doesn't even really need a shield. But it's his arsenal that makes him a really badass bounty hunter. Or as he likes to call himself, a peacekeeping cyborg. Here he is next to Death's Head 2, and I had Death's Head 2 on my Cosmic shelf, so now this guy's gonna go on my Cosmic shelf. I'll move Death's Head 2 over to my AIM shelf because my AIM shelf needs more characters, which is why I'm dying for them to do a new Madam Mask figure. So that way I can bolster up my AIM shelf, as Death's Head 2 was a member of AIM. So again, these two together, they just look like badass cyborgs. And I'm a sucker for cyborgs. Inside the packaging, there's also a diorama cutout backdrop for him. Overall, Death's Head is a clever reuse that makes for a fantastic figure, and he's one of those tall, imposing figures that will stand out on your shelf. Alright, next up is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Commander Once a Man, and the packaging team killed it on this. Holy crap, this looks nice. And it is a slipcover, as you can see. I was once a man. I like how that's printed on there. And one thing I really love is the moving graphic on this. How awesome is that? It is Velcro with a tab here, so we're just gonna pull that out like so. Here's the inside of it. I can't wait to see how they make Globulus. I'm all for that. And look at the packaging here on this Cobra Commander. So many accessories. I love it. All right, can't wait. Gotta open them now. Cut from the top, untab, and pull out. My action figure pull-out game is always on point. Again, give him the good old thumb push. 10 accessories here, so he's a handful. Alright, so this is a creepy looking figure. And when I say creepy, he's got that goofy, creepy looking kind of face, if you know what I mean. Man, all new sculpt right here with the arms, the torso, you know, the head and neck area. They gave him a new tattered, torn up jacket, so that looks pretty cool. He's wearing it like a vest. Great reuse from the HasLab Cobra Commander, so it was just easy for them to reuse those legs. So if you're familiar with that, you already know what to expect for articulation in the leg area. But gotta break them in, man. That's the fun part when unboxing these action figures. I'm really digging the dirt right here on the ankle. Ha, see what I did there? Digging the dirt. But I'm really digging the dirt right there that they applied as a nice wash on the ankles and on the tippy toes. You can see right there, but nowhere else. Would have been nice to have them at least on the heels too. Oh yeah, actually, what am I talking about? It's right there. It's visible. When he turned into a snake in the movie, I thought it was so cool, and when I was a kid, I was a big fan of snakes. Yeah, I know that people say that movie sucked, but it holds a special place in my heart as a kid, and the inner kid in me still loves that movie. I don't care what anyone says. Really nice sculpted scales. Articulation is on point too with the butterfly joints. You got the ab crunch, you know, ball jointed waist so he could pivot and such. Could have used a better crunch going forward, but not too bad. Look at those scales though. Man, he looks nasty. Full rotation at the neck. I just love that. It has so much range. And the eyes, the teeth, the nose. Again, he just looks so gross and creepy. They gave him a slight wash on the top of the head too, but yeah, it's a pretty impressive sculpt here. And the jacket is removable, so if you want to see that snake pattern on his back. The more I stare at this, the more I'm really loving those different color tones on the body here. For accessories, he has his gun and his little backpack, which you could plug in the gun and plug it onto his back. It looks like a little Fortnite back bling. His dagger, which you can store onto his sheath. Then he has an alternate head with the helmet, and you see the white stripe on top. He also has a battle damage visor, and you can see the inner workings in there too. If I can pop some light in there, you can see all the techie parts in there. I love that. Unfortunately, it does not swap onto the helmet, and that sucks. That would have been a nice feature, just in case if you wanted to display him with that battle damage visor on. It's not sculpted, it's just painted on, so that's how you get the look of those cracks. But if you want your HasLab Cobra Commander to sport that white stripe on the helmet, you can easily swap the heads, and I like this look. Besides the trigger hands, he comes with a set of fists, and he has a pointing finger for the right hand and a grabbing kind of hand for the left arm. And this is my favorite accessory because it feels like a little figure accessory, you know, like a little figurine. Almost doesn't feel like an accessory, does kind of feel like an action figure, and this is pretty cool. The movable arms here, so he's in his Cobra form. I like this a lot. Man, this is some sick painting they did here. I really like the patterns here, the scales. Just a beautiful sculpt. Look at that mouth. Man, that is sick. The inner workings of that mouth is just, wow, they nailed it. Look at the eyes painted. And then you have this tail right here, which is not fully bendable. It's not a bendy wire, but you can wrap it around other figures if you want. So I'm just going to use Sarge here as an example and just twirl around that tail and hook it behind them like so. And yeah, this is freaking cool. This is a lot of fun. I really like this figure. It's very enjoyable. Here he is next to the HasLab Cobra Commander, and I just gotta say, I'm very happy with my purchase. Being a kid who was born in the 80s, I grew up loving those 80s villains. 80s villains were the best, and they were always my favorite characters out of those shows. So Cobra Commander for G.I. Joe, Skeletor for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Megatron for Transformers. They were just my favorites. So since Cobra Commander is my favorite character out of the franchise, this was a must-buy for me. Next, we're taking a look at the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Player 2 Chun-Li, and I really like the packaging here. I like that they have the stage on the back for the packaging art. That's really cool, and it is a slipcover. I love my slipcovers here. Here she is with all her accessories splayed out, and again, you see the stage on the backdrop right there. It looks really nice. Got my good old trusty razor, so we're just gonna cut, flip the tab up, and we're gonna pull this out. And so we got this nice backdrop, as you can see. So good for photos if you want. I see some new accessories I'm excited for here. Thumb and push. Got some tabs here. I hate these things. Kills my momentum when trying to open up a figure. Pop, pop, and pop. Alright, so if you have the previous Chun-Li, it's a straight up repaint, so you pretty much know what to expect here. She's just got the pink and gold deco, and I really like the gold deco. That's a really nice touch. Really nice metallic gold paint. It just looks beautiful. Here she is side by side with the player 1, Chun-Li. And this is a really good look. Her boots are not straight up white though. They have a slight pinkish hue to it. So you can see the blue one has a traditional white. And I even think right there at the waist too might be a little slight pinkish hue. Yeah, it definitely is. Break her in with some articulation here. So, you know, again, if you own the Chun-Li, let me tell you something. Jada Toys has made some of the best domestic figures out there, man. They have one of, if not the best line in the domestic market right now. They are very exciting. Like their articulation system, they have the best double ball peg for the torso articulation and even at the necks too. If only Marvel Legends had this kind of style of articulation, they would be unbeatable. It's so flexible, man. It just moves freely and it's just great. I always say Marvel Legends don't know how to really capitalize or just execute ball joints at all, and this is the perfect example. They should follow after this. Man, I just wish she had butterfly joints. That's the only thing she's missing. I would say the color tone on the legs are about the same. Maybe this one is a little bit lighter. For other accessories, she has her chopping hands. Then she has her victory taunt hand gestures and even the happy face right there, which is freaking awesome. I do love that. You can capture Chun-Li's personality just like this. Oh, that's awesome. And she also comes with the same exact face, and I was thrown off at first because I'm like, huh, why does she have the same face, the same head sculpt? And then I realized, oh wait, this one has the pink buns, this one has the white buns, so it can go on player 1. And that's just awesome because now if you want to reenact that victory pose with player 1, you can. And also give her the same extra, or the new extra hands, I should say, onto this body. And also they gave her the screaming head as well. Same one from the player 1. Same accessory effects for her kicks and the flight stand as well that you got from player 1. Then lastly, her Kikoken effect, and this just looks freaking awesome. I love this. I love the way they did the bubbles inside the effect. That's just a neat touch. It's a separate sculpt too, so that's really neat. This player 2 Chun-Li is a smart and easy repaint for them, and honestly, I wasn't really a big player 2 with Chun-Li, and she's my favorite Street Fighter character. I was more into the green shader. I believe that was in Ultra Street Fighter 2. I don't know, it's been so long since I played that game. But yeah, I used more of the green than I did with pink or the red, but blue was always my main. Anyways, I love how this figure not only gave me a lot of replay value with this figure alone, but also revisiting this figure and giving it more. I'm happy with that. Last one I'm opening up here is a Violent Ken. I'm so excited for this one. I love their packaging. They kind of took after the Evil Ryu one. It just has that nice retro video game feel. And I just, oh man, I love it. Slip cover again. And as you can see, oh my god, look at these, bro. The freaking barrels. This is what sold me. I mean, I wanted Violent Ken regardless, but you know, the action figure photographer in me definitely wants to play with these broken barrels somehow. Wow, lots of accessories here. I always love how they use the stages as like a diorama backdrop. So cool. Opening this guy from the top, slice, untab, and pull out. And let that barrel roll out. And right off the bat, I can tell how deep they went into his skin tone, giving him that nice like Shadowloo, Psycho Power-ish purple kind of hue all across the skin. That looks sick, man. Yeah, you can see it. It really highlights the muscle definition there. And as you can see him next to Ken right here, he has a much darker red. This one's a brighter red. He also has these purple markings around his gi. You see that? So nice paint job there. I do like that a lot. Jada Toys really knows how to highlight the muscle definition with that kind of airbrushing. Same they did with Evil Ryu here. It's just so good to look at. And I respect Jada Toys for giving Ken a different torso sculpt than Ryu. They could have just, half-assed it and say, hey, it's going to be an easy repaint for us and save money. No, they put in the effort to make sure Ken was bigger, and that's accurate. Man, I just love Jada Toys' articulation. Look at these ball joints, man. They know how to do balls. Pause. Ooh, I even see some of that purple shadowing on his pants too. Wow, I'm more impressed than I thought I would be. Can't swap parts with this Ken. Again, the skin tone's different. They didn't come with an additional head to put on this Ken as like a bonus head. Sort of like what they did with the Chun-Li, but this figure is good as is. It does offer a good amount of accessories. You get his fists, you get this sick looking head sculpt. Next head, he's got his grinning expression right there. Looks good. The hair looks good as well. It is a different hair sculpt. He has a more yelling expression on the third head, and I think I like this hairstyle the most out of all the other heads he comes with, because the default head is a little more relaxed. This one, the second head, is a little more dynamic in the hair. But yeah, this one, it's very crazy. I like this one. He's got the Hadouken hand gestures, and he's got the same stand and Hadouken effect as before. It's just in a more pinkish purplish color. I just love that they have the Hadouken hands right there inside the effect. Man, they kill it with the effects. Just like they did with the Chun-Li, adding this green bubble effect inside the blue effect, it just makes it pop more. Just like when you see that light pink Hadouken hands inside here. It's just so good to look at. He's got his Shoryuken effect in that purple color, and this Ken is just so much fun to pose. And my favorite accessories out of this set are the barrels. You get a regular barrel and a battle damaged barrel. I think this is so freaking cool, man, and I really like this big gold oil drum. Look at the shading and wash that they put on this. It looks beautiful. This is really nice, and these things are big, man. Like, look how tall they stand next to Ken right here, as you can see. Yeah, it's video game accurate. So the broken barrels, they did a great job with this. I love this. It's torn, and you can see it's not that sharp at all. It's safe to touch for sure. But the top piece is right here. It doesn't connect, but you can do something like this where you can like rest the top of the barrel on top of that to get this kind of look right there. So Jada Toys is really selling their exclusives by adding some really cool, enticing accessories. And for comparisons, I have Ryu and Ken next to their evil counterparts right here. And as you can see, Violent Ken and Evil Ryu standing side by side. They just look so badass together. And now to wrap things up, this year has some fun choices as San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. Death's Head is a character that's a great choice for a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, as he's not a widely known mainstream character, but he has the looks. They should choose characters like that to be exclusives where they are not a necessity to a collection, but that are clever in reuse, colorful in design, and enjoyable accessories. It's fun to accessorize them. I've wanted this character in 6-inch scale, especially after seeing him in the 3 3/4 line. I knew he'd make for an epic figure in the 6-inch line. I'm giving him a 9 out of 10. He's only missing silver metallic paint. If he had that, he would have been a perfect 10. Cobra Commander Once a Man. I've seen the funny jokes online already about him selling out and dubbing him as Once in Stock. You win, internet. Once a Man Cobra Commander is pretty cartoon film accurate, and that's what I love about this. Lots of play value with his accessories, and his snake form figurine coiling up other figures is another exciting play feature. He's a little undersized, as in the film he was a bit bigger, but this is passable for a bonus accessory. The sculpt and paint are spot on. Can't wait for the retro with the chrome visor, but it still sports a nice metallic silver paint job. I'll also give this Cobra Commander a 9 out of 10. They really went all out with the new parts and more. Jada Toys have been hitting home runs not just with their mainline, but exclusives as well. By the way, let me know if you'd like for me to review the Jada Toys Street Fighter line going forward. As I said earlier when covering Chun-Li, I said she was a smart reuse by them. What I mean by that is not just being a straight up repaint, but giving me a reason as to why I want to buy a repaint, and they did, with the extra heads, hands, and Kikoken effect to go with my player 1 Chun-Li. When you give me replay value with not just one figure but two figures by making me go back and revisit a previous figure, then say no more, as I'm sold. I'm all about enhancing the play experiences for multiple figures at once. Violent Ken, same thing. I could use his Shuriken effects on Evil Ryu and barrels with whoever or for whatever display. The extra accessories, paint, and all that was worth the price. If you're a fan of the variant looks, then you'll love these. These two are a 10 in my book. At this point, Jada Toys can do no wrong. Now I kick it back to you. What do you think about these Sdcc exclusives? Would you be down to see more unboxing videos like this? What was your favorite San Diego Comic-Con exclusive this year? It doesn't have to be what was shown here, as these were the only ones I wanted, but ratings aside, I think my personal favorite out of these is Death's Head. He was the most important one to add to my collection. Comment below, let me know, we'll chat about it. Thanks for watching today's video. Please follow me on Instagram if you haven't already at xmanny87. Hit the notification bell so you always know when my latest videos are up. Share and subscribe if you're new. See you on the next video. Peace, peace.